Hey, welcome back, Gary Brown Forging On. We're on to the next installment of the knife out of a file. There's going to be some video clips in here, so I'll kind of explain them here and then stick around and you can watch. So anyway, what I did is I've drilled the holes for the pins. I used a file guide and tried to cut in some plunge lines along this edge, but it was already getting so thin that you can barely see it. And right now it's real dark. It's been in the tempering oven for 1 hour so far at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm going to put it in another hour in there here in a minute. I do have my touch mark on that. You can see it. It's all dark right now, but it'll shine up. I'll polish it and get it all slick. The next step will be putting scales. I also used a file and put some little decorative file marks where the thumb goes back here. So just give it a little extra touch. Like I said, my first time trying to make what I want to call a real knife. I mean, I've made it out of I made a knife out of a railroad spike, which the process is about the same. It's just that it's not the best steel. So I made one of those, and I made one also. Just the handle was it was out of a piece of coil spring like this, and the handle I squared it off and put a Rubik's cube twist on it. I'll try to put either a picture here of it or a link to it. I got some pictures on Instagram, so I'll try to put one or the other here. So I'm going to heat treat this one a second round. And I'm really not sure. It's like I said, it was an old file. I annealed it, so I really don't know what the metal is. But the file was skating on it, so I'm going to anneal it one more time. I'm going to temper it one more time, and we'll go from there. So, like I said, the images, the video is not too good, but I'll do the next installment where I'll clean this up and then put some scales on it. So I appreciate you watching. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye. About 10 centimeters, I think, going to the scale. So I think I'll come in and 3/4 of an inch from each side. I'll put one right there. Stretch. Find the centers. About 15 millimeters, so that would be 5, 6, 7.5. My arm's going to be right in your way. Let's see if we can do it underneath. Well, I'm in the way. Just a second. Okay. The 120 grit sandpaper on there. Keep my fingers there so no one's blades get hot. Even though I'm not worried about tempering right now. I'm going to put some etching into this thing right there. Okay, I'm going to Start a 1/2 inch back. Put them every 1/4 inch. I may put one more in there. I got this Nicholson 3-sided triangular file. I'm going to try going from both sides. I'll turn it over. Going till I'm just about to get to the other side, but not quite. One more. Yep, just need to smooth all that back out now so it's not so rough. A little texture design on there. Not the greatest, but like I said, I'm learning. Never done that before. What I did is I poured this, it's actually, I'll put a link to it below. This is rice bran oil. I learned about this from a professional knife maker, Sam Towns in Australia, because it has the highest flash point. As you noticed, it never really caught on fire, flashed, anything with me putting this stuff in there. So I had just some random steel I shoved in there, got it hot, and used it to heat the oil, because you want to preheat your oil some. And I don't know the exact amounts. Alright, it's all scaled up in the oil, but I'd clean that up later. Now I want to see if it hardened it. So now it's brittle hard if I did it right. So this should skate. I'll grip it something better than that. And you saw I heated it and brought it out and let it cool down, air cool, put it back in, heated it, cool. I think it's called thermal cycling. I don't know. I think it's just I try to do it just to take some of the stress off of the molecules in the steel. Yeah. Don't believe that it's gripping it. I didn't do the top. I've only put it in about like that so that it hardened this part. So this back here should cut in. want to do too much. Side there, I think it's skating over to me. And surprisingly, for some reason, it's still straight. Not that I know what I'm doing, but hey, having fun learning. So now what I'm going to do is temper it. I'm not going to show you that. Just like Forged in Fire, they don't show you tempering it. If you ever watch Forged in Fire, the first round they're making their knives and they heat treat it and they get it red hot and they dunk it in the oil and get it brittle hot, and they try not to get it, drop it or something because it'll actually shatter. And then they vote somebody out, and then they come in for the second round when there's only 3 people, and you'll hear them say, now that your knives are tempered, that's about as much as you know about tempering. So this is with knives, tools, chisels. Like, I made this kind of a flat rounded chisel to use to make veins in the leaves I do. Harden it the same way as you would a knife. You get it hot, and with a chisel you only dip it in about so much of it because you want this to stay soft. You don't want it hardened, so you just harden so much of this end. And after you get done, you can either do one or two things. It's the blacksmith style way, if you don't have any modern tools, is you then, when you cool this off, you scrape it towards shiny, and this is all still real hot because it was in the fire. Sometimes it's still red hot, and you'll watch the colors move up. It'll be like the blue and yellows and purples and all that will be moving up. And when this end gets to be a straw color, a yellowish color, golden color, you quench it. And then you can, if you quench it fast, you can rub it shiny again real quick. And then don't rub it again, just watch the colors. And they might come up again because this is all still hot. And then you quench it. But finally you just quench the whole thing, and then and that's tempered. It goes from brittle back to where it's not brittle, but it's still hard. And to do it like I'm going to do it is I'm going to throw this in my toaster oven. A friend of mine gave me, he was moving, he didn't want the toaster oven, he's getting a new one. So I just brought it out here to the shop, and I put a couple fire bricks inside, and it's preheating right now up to about 375, 400. This is 5160. Well, I don't know what this is. This was a file, so I'm not real sure what kind of steel it is. But I'm going to set it about 375 to 400, and I'm just going to I got fire bricks in there, and I'm just going to lay this on the fire bricks and just let it cook for about an hour. And being this thin, an hour at 400 degrees should be fine. And then that'll take the brittleness out, but still leave the hardness. And then we can finish it, sharpen it, put handles on it, and all that. But that'll be for later, because that's got to sit in there for an hour and then cool down. So I'll just put it in there for an hour while I'm messing around with other stuff. And then I'll just turn it off and let it cool down when I go in the house. The next time I come out, I'll start working on scales and stuff. So anyway, I'll show you this toaster oven in a second, but y'all have a blessed day, and thanks for watching. We got the holes drilled in here for the pins. We got the blade shaping and finished, or not finished, but down to a close finish. And then and now we've got it hardened. Now we're going to temper it and continue on with this knife making build. Like I said, subscribe, like, leave comments. If you think I'm doing a horrible job, you can leave a comment about that. But just remember, I'm new at this stuff. I made a few knives out of like coil springs and stuff like that, so this is the most finished looking knife I've ever done. Anyway, y'all have a blessed day. Bye-bye now.